Hello, my name is Sinead Connolly, and for integrated health support systems, I did a project on uh, public health nurses. Um, Me and my partner doing this project, Claire Fitzpatrick, decided to do it on public health nurses and, in particular, the elderly care records a public health nurse keeps. Um, because we went to a nursing home, and the nursing home in St Mary's in Capillaney told us that their recording system is a bit, well, very chaotic, that all the records seem to take up two rooms. A lot of the files are just in boxes on the floor, and that the most relevant files pertaining to a particular patient on a ward will be in the nurse's office at the ward, but the rest of them are in boxes or in shelves in the two record rooms. So why we decided to do it on public health nurses is because the nurse in St Mary's told us that a lot of the records could be from public health nurses putting on sending information for referrals and everything, um, and any other relevant information a public health nurse would give. Uh, so we contacted a public health nurse, and she says she deals with everyone from birth, early childhood, disabilities, and all family needs, and then elderly people. And the elderly people she could have an awful lot of information on, especially if they've been on our caseload for a number of years. I have a couple of pictures here now, or files. This is just an overview of what they might write pertaining to the family, and like a lot of the files will look like this, and they'll have handwritten notes everywhere. Some of it doctors writing and hard to read. I don't know if you can see it on top of this, and then a lot of them will have these index tags, so as in case there was referral sheets sent on to hospitals or places of respite. Then you have more needs assessment details, and they have to catalogue everything from physical health and mental health to lifestyle and evaluation of reasons. So this is an example of a rare referral sheet coming back from an A&E, and as you can see, a lot of the detail has been written over from the dockets from before, and it just can't read it. So electronic records would be great for this. Now, a lot of details the public health nurse gave us on the information they gather pertaining to elderly patients is their name, address, next of kin, age, medical card details or private insurance details, illnesses, long-term medical illnesses, past and present conditions, no medications, social home support, which has about 30 different categories, housing again, which would have 10-15 different categories, all health information, their meals, financial support, their home support, their day services, respite details, social outing details, access to transport, and aids and appliances used and not used, and then you'd have your referral forms again, and you would have maybe a liaison nurse as well. So this is an extract from the British Geriatric Society. It's a paper on assessing need from patient care and professional perspectives. It was the Cranbrook assessment of need for elderly people in primary care, and it discussed a lot of the similar tables that the public health nurse told us. Between it and what the nurse told us, we created our tables. Here is an example of the method of communication between the doctor and patient and nurse and everything, and you can see how lines of communications get crossed, and it's a bit messy. Here's what it could be, and you can see that it shows if, say, a patient has to monitor its blood pressure, instead of like going all the way around, it might be a lot more beneficial for him to do it at home and just send it directly to log it on a computer instead of on a sheet at home, which might get lost. And then if the doctor or nurse flag anything, they can contact him directly then when needed. Then this is the tables we used. You can see here all the links we have between each table, and here are the tables and all their fields. Plenty to do. So we just created our database with SQL and uploaded it to phpMyAdmin. From there we used Java in NetBeans to communicate for the nurse or patient to communicate with the database. A few of the technical details of our program is that we have our main method in MySQL con.java, and then we have just two classes on top of that. We have a class for patients and a class for nurse. In the patients and nurse file, they can each, that's how you add your nurse to the system. You log in your nurse and connect the nurse to a patient, or see if there's a connection between them and the patient that they're trying to use. Then for the patient's file, they can either register themselves or a nurse can register them. Then there's a method to verify that the patient is actually a patient of the system and their login is correct. And then for a patient, we have a method just to view details that they can view. So then in the main method, this is where you register and, well, you choose to register or choose to log in or choose to, if you're a nurse, to choose to add a new patient. Yeah, so it goes through a couple of things there, and then we have a register user method, and then we have add records method. This record is, or add records method is one very long method, and then there's just two more methods there's two more methods at the end which were used often. It's a yes or no check. You can see as the code develops that yes or no check was used an awful lot, and if the patient would like to go through the records again, if the nurse, would like to go through the records again and add, change or view records. So if we go then to the code or the program, you'll see the pop-up window and it asks you if you want to register. So I'll show you first what a patient details will come up as. So you register with, you need a patient ID and date of birth to be right. If it's incorrect, it won't log you in. So then here it shows all the details, name, Eric Clapton, ID, date of birth, address, and your own phone number. There is no method to change these details if needed, so it would have to be through a public health nurse, I suppose. Then we have just some height and weight issues or details from the physical fitness file. Then we have the nurse that you're registered under and some long-term medical illness details and some other treatments. That's all the details he has. So if we go back and run it again, and this time we'll try and run it as a nurse, and if we enter an ID here and an area code, if I have it right, and then it shows you all the patients that are registered to you. So you can either add a new patient, or you can add records or change a patient's details that you already have. So if we first go to add a new patient, so you put in an ID, and then you put in a first name, and date of birth. So it has to be in the format of day, month, year, because and there you see that a new patient was added, and then asks you if you would like to add new records to patients. So since the patient has no records, you can add some new ones. So say we want to add a GP details, and say yes to new detail. Is the record of the GP already there? If yes, click on yes, and then you have to choose one of the IDs, or it'll come up with an error message. So we'll say it's Belinda McGovern, and then if you want, you can check invalid entry. So now I can do one. So now it shows you that Belinda McGovern is there. So then no. So that's that. If we run it again, and this time as a nurse, and you want, and we'll view some records of a patient already on the system. I'll go in as the same nurse again. And so we'll go in as Eric Clapton this time. And now we can view any of the details for Eric Clapton. So if we go to social outing details, we can see that Eric Clapton is social with clubs, societies, family and friends. And his description has a very active social life. And it was last inspected yesterday. So if we update the records and say that we want to update the club details, and he's not involved in a club anymore, and don't have to update the family details, or we don't have to update the friendship details, but we'd like to say that he had to stop playing poker, and enter, and hopefully that's gone in now. So we can check, and we go to social ones, which is 8. So there you see, now he's social with society, family and friends, but not very active social life, but had to stop playing poker, and now it was inspected today. And that's everything. Thank you.